Premotobre Shimama Yamamunina ha. Yamakova do Badum TV, Premotobre Kasee so. We and somewhere seeing a Brasson say the Brosadum TV, Premotobre Kasee. Near to your mubi ubetiani. Reverend also been passed say a post for us on a patchy or any Pami and Sabi. Yadamun Samno ever Bremo. Kumasi Central Market and so Nefa Bear or how much more do no 20% a whole year. The same penny for AGF free, following some a year one more eduma. Do or die. Someone can even penny John Dramani Mahama Kayano. They say, I don't know, Danny Chiapia, our grassroots are no. Teach you near Santa Montemo, who t shirt in a P. And on in Sambina, Midday bro, Adom TV, Premotobre Kasee, Facebook/Adom TV, Kasee Woho, like a comment, na fe washe. Oba Go TV 176, Adom TV, Kasee Woho, DSTV, channel near 280. And we are me a mess some more, me fear, Amankwa, Tamaklo. Yamakwa by Yada, surpass what Yatumosha, Adom TV, Premotobre Kasee, Feti, and some Ninchemu and Kasa. Osofu Penny Reverend Usubempa, and in Nipa, me and Sabia, one kind of home, say, but before I saw one more a page, Ninana sat 10 years in ne, and I could just a crook or one more day, Chesampa, 1 year and mema. Then in Yanni say, one ne evangelist, Nana Grada, and Nana a year, no, we actually bamboo for Hawk or Resasum, Giba Banata say, one for Bambon in Yeshe, one more road, your go almost so no. And a bamboo for so woman ne and some Adom TV Kasee et was so.
Enam kasafoina na etwagu ewo abefon 10 times so efa osofo Isaac Usubempa ho ebra wo call evangelist na agrada efia ehonom no okuta etuo ene eniema bia na chidifo eka ne ho na aposifo ekọ na sorry se okwa akwache osofo yi na bra woduru honom no ekoye etwema mentwe ema osofo Usubempa ene na chidifo etugu aposifo iso ekowie ekire na enye kra se ada aposifo atro nsem agunkra ata so se owura yi wakwa akwakyere no
agrada ni nikan enko police for no what you say me mete agrada police for na kofana me ankasa me nanti akọ because the police at that chimney.
That's my father.
Over the bar.
That's my father.
But I cried that comfort and also a better so I think to be a soon or power be on the better.
Na ebra posifo esoma won adwumayefo bi se won kọ osofo Usubempa asori dem no konkọche no woduru honom no na chidifo yi bi ewo honom a wo ne aposifo yi ede siani ewo asori honom na aposifo yi ere wo ho eche osofo yi achidifo yi bi ede omo ekoposi biaye na wona aka esese wo twe omo eye Michael Boaten Frederick Ohene Nathaniel Ajekum ene enipa mienu bi aka
nti wasansem we mu no enei wo mo ewo court ampanifo ejina so denden de be pie bia mu no yankase akamu bete sa ensem no mayon wuso ngo bambofo adwuma won mo edi na otwe awie yi entem tasi droba wonu ankasa na numutuo waka ewo TV ya kasafidie ba akoso kire nipa wakum wo mo animro so ani ade no bambofo nso won sa aka no Felix ansa na enede ya ni okọ court ho no mu a wo mo aye twi wo ho a ye hwese ye betoto no ano na fe se de nsem no mu nsem tie no Oma bambofo anya emunsam Adom Kasee edeba
Ghana Police Service for Edenkrata Babeto Abontini awonum echiremu se taxi driver ni din ene Felix Ansaya wanya mfie aduasanu mu a ebobu sumi da na etosu mienu abra no wakasa ewo nua TV so no ne nsem kayemu no na wopese wo kire se wakum enipa bebre ede aye nyankomade na bra wode sansem ne tudwa ewo nua TV no so ewieye no ya waji tu mu se wayesa nipa bonefo sem no na police adwumakuo no ekokokire na asesei wo boa wonum ama waye ensem num enhwehwemu wonum adane di se ebobu sumi da etoso dumiensa ewa afimpinu ene adunu ba akomo no wonom betwe na se e de akwa akogina asemdibia na afi wode na akwa akoto remand sene ebe ya wobetimi aye ensem ni mu nhwehwemu yi wonom atro won krata ni mu se bibi biara ebepie akire no wonom e de ba beto omanfo ene sa enkrata yi ACP Pesi Ofori ya woye Acting Director General Emma Public Affairs ena nensa eshasi abra Felix Ansa ekasa ewo dwumadie no so no wokeka nsem pi ene nnwuma bebre a waye ede ama amanfo a ya emu bi ene se ebri bi atwemu abato obre mu no amanyoni bi eba na so ya wobo ano ekum opemfo bi enemu no so se ne ebe ya obetimi adu nkunim ewo sa abato ni mu
edwuma bi manu penny ya beni bi politician ba okay bi edwuma bi manu Oh, the men more part, men can Mr. Or you be no, you this man would be by you. Okay.
The Juma be man na or bapim for na I can't say 2 months no be 1 month no be the you call am. Sienu. We see no life. Who see then I was have a pan if you
painful no.
Yeah.
Who bamina?
Yeah.
No who see no life.
It is our way.
I am
okay. See, I do every December beer because I don't know. Every December beer me can now.
Ah, Fena Matia Senia. Yabatwaba.
Mayenko Bogatanga Sesia na yampeni adanko akufuado Ghana Bar Association conference ekoso no pampani den sema hudo bi tudwa yenko TV mra.
We are to get the developments we all crave. Then paying taxes must become a regular and unquestioning feature of our lives. I do not suggest that lawyers take a vow of poverty and not make money, honest money, out of practicing as tax lawyers. As long as there are taxes, there will be tax lawyers. And there will always be a requirement for tax law expertise. Taxes can be confusing at times, and a good tax lawyer can guide and help keep businesses afloat or families' finances intact. It is at this time when we're trying to build a culture of paying taxes that we have a special demand for lawyers who would inspire confidence in the people that it is worth doing. I would dare say that the theme you have chosen for the conference, ensuring an increase in revenue mobilization through taxation for the purpose of accelerated national development, the role of the lawyer, is as relevant a clarion call for our times as self-government now or self-government within the shortest possible time, depending on your inclination, was for our forefathers. 64 years after we achieved our independence, nobody needs to tell us that today's battle cry is indeed for accelerated national development. And it is heartening that within its finest tradition, the bar, as usual, is taking the lead in this important national exercise. Having spoken at length about how far-sighted it is for the bar to have taken this decision to support efforts to increase revenue mobilization through taxation, I trust I'll be allowed to go a step further into more uncomfortable territory. I have to point out that if this campaign you're undertaking is to be successful, you will have to start from home. Mr. Outgoing President, I'm afraid there's no easy way of putting this. You will have to start from getting members of the bar to pay their taxes. The record of lawyers in paying taxes has been historically poor. It is unfortunate, but a most unpleasant fact that members of the professions in our country have not been known to set a good example when it comes to paying taxes. They appear to think that being members of the learned professions put them above complying with everyday civic duties, like paying taxes. It is embarrassing. The lawyers are often at the top of the list of those who flout our tax laws and use their expertise to avoid paying taxes. The Ghana Revenue Authority has told a disturbing story about what it discovered earlier this year when it started working with the Registrar General's Department and the National Identification Authority. It found that there are some 60,000 professionals working in the country who are totally outside the purview of the tax authorities. These professionals are lawyers, they are accountants, they are doctors, they are engineers, they are surveyors, They are architects. In other words, they are part of the crème de la crème of Ghanaian society, and they do not pay taxes. They will soon be receiving friendly phone calls from the tax authority. I sincerely hope that those involved would move swiftly to regularize their tax affairs before the GRA moves to crack the whip. Indeed, prior to my coming to office in 2017, only a small proportion of our population, i.e., some 750,000 people, was registered by GRA with tax identification numbers 10. As a result of the effective rollout of the National Identification Card, spearheaded by one of our own, the Ibalian Ken Atifwa, which has been integrated with GRA to form the TIN number, we now have a taxable population of some 15.5 million people in just 4 years. Government has introduced other measures that make it easy for institutions and individual taxpayers to be compliant. These include implementing initiatives such as revenue assurance and compliance enforcement, RACE, Ghana.gov, paperless port, the National ID Ghana card, digital property and address system, and cashless system. These policy interventions are running smoothly, and I urge you to take advantage of these innovations to regularize your tax affairs and advise your clients to do the same. The Integrated Customs Management System, ICOMS, at our ports has been introduced to facilitate trade and block revenue leakages. Already, despite the initial opposition of vested interests, it is paying dividends. Customs revenue, prior to the implementation of ICOMS, for the period June 2019 to May 2020, stood at 11.25 billion cedis. Between June 2020, the start of ICOMS, and May 2021, teething challenges, ill-considered propaganda, and the impact of COVID-19 on global trade notwithstanding, customs revenue has increased by 27.6% to 14.36 billion cedis. Additionally, government is exploring data warehousing, data matching, and artificial intelligence to identify tax defaulters. Whilst government narrows the fiscal gap by implementing target revenue generating initiatives, much is also expected from taxpayers to be responsive in equal measure for the speedy full realization of moving Ghana to a situation beyond aid. When I say the bar is demonstrating courage by getting into the subject of taxes, I do not exaggerate. I wish all of us a lot of luck, and I shall be watching keenly how this project progresses. Before I end, I must make a comment on the choice of Bolgatanga as the site for this year's BARS conference. It is the third time in my recollection that the conference is being held in the northern sector of our country, after Tamale in 2000 and 2010. I congratulate you for venturing out of your comfort zone and coming to Bolgatanga, even though there's in fact nothing difficult about the location of the conference. I see that these very pleasant premises have been aptly named by their founder, the celebrated priest, the Reverend Eastwood Anaba, who gave such an inspiring opening prayer for this conference in this magnificent auditorium, Desert Pastures. And I cannot think of a more suitable name to call this beautiful and well-ordered place. I'm hopeful that it has encouraged those lawyers who stay only in Accra and other big cities, and imagine the rest of our country to be thatched roof mud houses to explore other parts of our country. You'll discover, yes, we have problems, but we're also making steady progress. May God bless the Ghana Bar Association and us all. And may God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you very much for your attention.
Timampani Adom Kwakufuado, Boga, and Nay Ghana Bar Association, share Mudia, Ecoso, any a TB, and baby, a whole new here, or CSS to be any padro, do a year, Jumanas won't your taxa, a doctor for more, a judge for near Obia woman tea, watcher, say free no crave from conference, yes, will be any homework ye, Sabaya, Jerry for Bahon, no be in your problem, and you may Cassia moon on the Aketri, editing in Aberbramo, Premotobre Kasee and Augusto. Shower Adom TV no me ento so nkwa santemantam mu na make say Kumasi Central Market fa bi be ohom nchemu adu no 20% hono de mpanifo age afi wona na edidwa no ensem enya ne kwanbone so na mom bo mu siesie hono mo de ayebia foforo asase ne de na adwarifo no ma won ho kwan den so ne won wate ase afi ho ama de wo se hyase wo ho no hyase Adom Kasee edeba.
And I'm say in a day and paying for I shall say, when Babu a jana a guntino, or more about pro a say a jadifono a jomonia may be a wha. Nanso, Emra, Adom Kasee a dear chile a quayano, na a jadifona casa yomonia menina every hodata. Na a commoa, one more sasa and a dear and in tabon tabubia usu say in hiomo. Aha, a central market. Aha, aka or hamuntichemu aduonu asasea. Na contractor for epe ede aka. Ohamuti chemu adwo watwe omonsa akadada no ho empanfo akirema womo epe hade no ede aka ho se ne beye na womadwuma omo eye no atimi ayekra behwe ene ana mo hye se obia enyi ne niema yede ni de akire ebehwe ye baaye no soso nampa adwadifo no atie ensema asantemantam so afo onumnyamfo sam no se mensa eka ye no ama obia yi ne niema sa obehwe a entabo ne nade a omsusu se ehiam omo no ana ma hyase esesa ensu efiri ha sei adwadini ba ko ekoto no ho e de adesrede atumpanyifo nim se
yesre wo ma ya baabi na yentina na yehwenya de de beto aduane de yesre wo mu ye pesa aduane wo mu yama ne ye fe ye ne je ho sa na baabi ebenya atena ton ade agidie ne ntina na ye tobe no na nso ye se ntimi ni wo mo twetwe ma ne nye yie efi se ye pe asanteman se ye yie ntimi yesre wo mu madawoma
Nanso opanyinipa okasa edema kemi mame afia kunadu editu jase
ejadifo wa ha nyina wonu se enipa wa ha doso nti ye ne nano fo no e na abibia yehia na ya mo mehu se omo beko race course ene na afia ko bi market ayeta friend se abinji market nti e honom na ye de omo beko ama makodi omudwuma asate nra se na omo ka se omo pe open space no yakoji honom e de abo akogu honom e de ama omo ya na wompanyimfo nyina wo ha na o hyese adwumadie na eden ebekoso nti sa pepepe na yedru
contractor ayadwumaku a kejetia redevelopment project no botu hu anamon consultant ademasa adwumaku yi ayowura yimano danso wo de atodwa say
ya ni police abefam aban agency security agencies ni nyina ba ya behwe se ne be ya ye started demolition na na gwe obi nko kase bibi wo obeko radio so akwa yese ne niema yira na akromfo na yebubu niema gu na yiso market ni leadership na o minche voluntary no obia yi ne niema contractor nyi niema contractor support agwadifo no with trucks baby omo amom relocation omo de ko and afi omo san supply equipment ma ko grade risk course ho baby said be ya omo betimi akotena it the contractor a year support you
eni na fo mienu de na adwumaku e friend contractor wadwi ha nyina won be hye omudwuma ase e wa ha sei nana awuku denchembo amane boni
ene nana awuku denchembo wa manu anso wa humachi ya wo sabo pro kokoshe ho sade ye dwiri ho no mu nyina na enhyehyɛ ahodo wo se wo mu de hyehyɛ so na adwumadie ne hyase no wo de hunsam etwaso
Abo anadwo du mienu pepepe e wo Central Market ase. Empanyfo e hye se ene day ana obebu Central Market dwa no aguo. Womo de osie ayoyo a womo ahyase ebu eguo. Se wohwe mensa nifa so yase ya. Aha ne trekwa kopiemu Dr. Mensa bonkum soso no e trekwa kopiemu e Roman Hill ho a ni nyina no womo ahyase ebu eguo. Se ne beye na contractor a wosi kejetia edwai second phase no wono ebenya asase nyantam ni nyina no watimi ediso edwuma. Contractor adwumafo yi ewo ho a womo hwe madwumadie no akoso. Consultant Owura Imano Danso editor just say
say baby ayebu no part of the 100% na here ebe boa me check drainage system because flooding baby gina hu say ateche pacha nti here say yebetumi ahwe no to be in a dam in sabenkum so it should be brave free 3 ni 3 ba join subin nti o hwa ye wo covet be brave gu ha nti yebetumi check drainage system na connect do jano still I gani bi wa chire na de enya yebetumi aboa se mpo opepe bi ba na mo benya omo maka no se ne e won susue mu se nka binya ni nyina no a ki betumi check nsuyiri eba market ha ne ba bia nsuo nam bia ne atenetere no aye ne kama masase no aye asase wese ama fence market na fa into my pefra but the way yebebo homode ama na wie pay
de asanteman Ghana man enyina epene say contractor e de adwuma yi ahye ne nsa no obetimi aye adwai ama no aye krabehwe nana awuku denchembo ama ne boni Central Market Kumasi.
Premotobre Kasee na oguso show Adom TV Midday afia amankwa tamaklo miento asomra eye nsamfofro mu osofo ono na hwe fisheries ne aquaculture so mami Mavis hawa kumsende atudwa sa hwe wo mani abre enso bambo no wo mu beyire mu kete nti aban no ehwe se wode boat ahodo be nan ebeba se be ya bambofo de bedi dwuma na o mabo apro e yensi wansi waso enu a woni nsentwefo hia no won di nkomo na nu akire no na anu ade ya popofo ya tumu se be ya mo no betimi anye bebre ne ade ne ka wo bo wo mo ho no nyina wodi tudwa Adom TV Kasee etwaso.
Ministry, in collaboration with the relevant security agencies, has intensified enforcement activities, including land and sea patrols, to ensure that all fishers engaged in illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing activities will be arrested. We will arrest and prosecute all those who break the laws. As I indicated during my vetting, I will enforce all the laws concerning fishing to ensure that we live a sustainable and transformed fishing sector for future generations. I wish to inform you that some arrests and seizure of light fishing equipment were made at Tema, Sekendi, Emisano, and Hini after the sea has been opened. Preparatory activities are also far advanced for the acquisition of 4 patrol boats for the sector. The 4 patrol boats will be deployed in each of the 4 coastal regions: Central, Greater Accra, Volta, and Western regions, for frequent inspections at sea, offshore, and for prompt response to detect infringements observed at the VMS centers. The patrol boats will also help in the fight against piracy, which has become rampant in the sub-region in recent times. There was high compliance with the closure in all fishing communities, which is an indication of the general acceptance of the closed season and the need to manage the fishery resources sustainably to protect their livelihoods. This notwithstanding, there were incidents of infractions in some fishing communities. It is key to note that through the activities of the Fisheries Enforcement Unit of the Fisheries Commission, the Ghana Navy and the Marine Police, non-compliant fishermen were arrested in Sekendi, Benyi and Eziama, all in the west. For the fisher folks and the fishing communities during this period, 15,000 bags of rice with 6,250 cartons of oil were distributed to over 17,000 people along the coastal communities. Then how much was used for the support? I cannot remember. I don't know if the accountant or the procurement officer is around. But it's in all about 6 to 7 million. Less than 10 million, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I'm not very sure, but it's less than 10 million to do this.
Sahi Jaboso Mrashe Bedani was a ranking member World Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. Kwabna minta kando de to aban nanim sanka beya e ma fafro wo homegye mu bosome miensa no anka aban tumunko abosome nsia se beya exclusive breastfeeding no ke betimi aye ne ye Adom Kasee etwaso
Mrashe Bedani a wogina ma wonu mu wo se Dwabo so ya wonu kroye sanse ranking member e Parliamentary Select Committee on Health no so Kwabna minta kando e kasa wo se hwi oso wa bra onum eda National Breastfeeding Week no edie e wo Western North Mountain mu no ena Mrashe Bedani editu just say hu be hia seboso me miensa aban editu ho no moma e ma wa wo se be ya obetumi atene fi ahwe wo no moma no anka wontwemu enko abosumi nsia se ne be ya obenya bredodoro edi ama wo manu nufu ama nkoda no etimi anyini e wa hoodin mu
breastfeeding 6 months there. That's if I say concentrating on breastfeeding for 6 months there. No, they say, Mammy, dear, or you are human. If they call a man, any as you say, we say, so yeah, that's all come maternity leave. At least, when you 6 months, you say, but you are concentrating, no amount of money for 6 months. That's the handle of opinion.
Owie no na Director General Ghana Health Service Dr. Patrick Umabwaje enso toto sere ema nyina se wonya wo ma no to ho no mu wi apa e wa abra awo na ka wo no ma wie no won hyase ema nkoda no nufuo enom woda na di se nofusuo no ebo nkoda no ho ban efi yarewa bebre ho
ana na mention say so we are a chekra do heri no say edi nufuo no ahye akara enu. Now, man, breastfeeding, she can be account for 6 months. Not for so I could see the baby. And when you're in say, a bomb for our home, Momuya, the Nomuya, and I was so Emma, malnutrition, second phone, my and now said to the big class as well. Kasee, obesity. One my breast milk was swap with me, and my bum, obese, a baby, man, not woman, I obese.
Yamani boni ene ema bi a wonom awo adwetwe nkomo ema wonom ekire mfasode a abosome nsia wotusi honom a wodema nkoda no nufuo wa abra won fa aduane bia enka ho no edema enkoda no
de mafemu de mi ho se aboa me bebre because mawo we ka ho miensa ene mahia ne ma bebre free mu a na minim aboa me pa ka ho ma wo nim nkola no miensa de ma mo nsi nufuso nko for 6 months ba o help mu den na de wa fa nsi ntam na o fa nufuso nko na pom den na yesen ne o no to ha na wa ma nsi fa nufuso na o de ma kola 6 months no eyankasa me first one man try but we na me say me try ahwe but aboa me
Premotobre Kasee na guso hwe ne yakwa asante mantamu na do or die nsam no de eno na ndisi amanyekuo no wo mu di gina mu denden hwe se 2024 campaign ebedi akotene kane mompani John Dramani Mahama ne kokan ye na aya se ya okan ye no bi mo kaseti ye hu hia nanso edenya ni kokohwa de hu t-shirt nyina pie e wasante mantamu Adom Kasee etwaso
Iliasu Mustafa adodo afa no kruka wasum NDC amanyoko no acheye pa oye branch organizer Edema Ejura Brigade NDC 2020 abato intwodi a ekosoma NDC no edaso edi litirimu dem nipa pina abodompem e ofante eno ewo Ejura sechiriduma ase a wotwe kane mampane John Dramani Mahama Iliasu efaka efri Ejura eba fante ho a wo hye NDC amanyoko no bi atade a watwe animu do or die.
Do or die no the only thing I nyantokwa mi youth no me no mekasa ye be ya dwumaden abo party ni se da be say ya 2024 sasisia bia emba mu awo police station any quality center hono
wo bia ya bodom pem no ene NDC amanyoko ne anyom anomobo ejomani ensem adodo na eka do or die sansemi bi na dodo na twotwere gu mo entade mu amanyoko no emani bi ehwese wo mo de sa do or die ebedi dwuma efempim yenu ani aduonu nan abatuo no
ye say ye ntena ma PP for sisi ye biem sa abato wo yo mu sisi ye no say ye betena ho mo sisi ye de ebi si biem but ye be fi ye ni na ye hwemu yie aba no ye kanya free branch ansa esuro aje se enu na mbamu a ena du anda no aye no kura se bebam me kofamu a me ma mo ti asie se 2024 election no aye du anda aye ni bleso
wo frante ahemfie ho no omampanyine dada John Dramani Mahama ekochia nananom atrankonya nana jatabo toso emienu aye adwure sechireduma security hene wagi du odai no etomu
omampanyine dada o hye ono anen krofo eden
omampanyine dada krofo eden
kacha wonum se
o kacha wonum se
abato ebeba no enya de ebe yan hwe han obia ya di dwumadi ebe ma won
so obia dwumadi ya won sa no
awo se wo hwe na wo ye ne ye
so ye ne ye
na wo ye ma ewie ye
jama ewie ye
saso wo kan ye nye bone de ye me de pa ne se wo hu se enye court ana ye be kwa koje ebimdie na mom yanya eye woni okuo ma no be ma moni ada ho
osunuko ba moni na ho
ma hwe ma totom no ma yie na sabi akronfo awiam
owura Samuel ofosu ampofo edwamtani edema NDC amanyoku no ekasai
ye de asem a ye mpanyi John Dramani Mahama kan no me am ye party dwom training no ma first stamp kese pa ye friend stamp na me de team so say pan say no na de ye adwuma enya tutu asem na mo ye mama ye ni ada ho ni ahwe say obi mfa ne taku mesesan yesiri na obi mfa ne black and white TV nya den e mesesan color TV na ne Ghana for pe no ye be hwe say ye to about 2024 ye de be ye adwuma ntina na me ye badam as
Premotobre Kasee na ohwe no samna de wo chire do so me ba ye beto so Memo akwa me da sepa se ogu social Adom TV Premotobre Kasee ye boy ransom for emu na mpanimfo ada Cape Coast anka for prison na nurse na no e wo commenda dina eguafo brim won finfin mantemu sra ban ne ankrankra won mo nsam ewo bie se won mura mebo won health facility ho no no aka de Metro hospital nioma won fa medom mo se be ya apomdi mu nsam ho nso ebepejade mo
Empanyimfo a wada ankafo prison no ano ewo Cape Coast mfimfin mantemades ready odeto aban enim ne se ohia enema bebre ewo apomoden bi aye ewo ho no mebema apomoden ho nsam akonkan na wode sansem yetudwa ebra Rotary Club awo Accra Airport ede ayarsabe ho niema bi ekoma wo enema bi te se air condition afi wheelchairs afi empa ene niema akabi na wokoye ena eye physician assistant wo ho no ofusu Emmanuel ede enema bi etudwa se wo ba honom a aya wona wo da afiase a wo hwe mo abribia no wondodo ekọ ahanum ne senti wode adesrede eto aban anim se enema bebre no ohia wo honom a ebema apomoden ho nsem akonkan a esese mpanyimfo ebre wo mo bi animu ya
be hu se enya ade nyina na ebetumi aye bia na wo face mask bia box ba ko na obetumi ato ofoforo nso bia osi o me nso betumi ato paracetamol adaka ba ko ye boabo anu ni nyina na kire se o how na ye ho no na ye yi free ho no ewo mu se high prison de nanso de eze ye hu kese pa ne se bia yare bi betumi ahya ase ofie ha betumi atretre akọ abonten enti uma ye nyina ye nyemwa
kwanchefo abedi atwa wo ankafo prison and nurse honom Wilson Sella ede ne de ekansa ensimi ho se ankrankra ene enwumeko bi obetimi ababebo mu bia no obesom ewo anigye mu ne senti wona desrede ode to mpanyimfo animu wontie no onya ho bibi ema wo
the need of drugs are very, very important for us because inmates, we are having almost 500 inmates here, and if many of them fall sick, you can imagine what you go through if the drugs are not here. Sometimes when they come and we tell them the drugs are not here, it is very sad. We feel for them because there's nothing we can do if the drugs are not there. So the intervention of the Rotary Club bringing us drugs is a very, 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 very good opportunity, and we are very happy to receive them to give us the drugs here. So we know that these drugs they are giving us, we are going to use it in a good use, and we will make sure that the inmates get the maximum benefits from these drugs that we are giving. So in a nutshell, drugs are very, very needed here to make sure that the inmates are kept in good health.
Bien call Adom TROTRO red aso massagina and banyard na se wapempe kwa draw se what do omu this one as what here se wapempe was so what the munsem emaye. Sawa patoti and come in who the akwas wa banyard. Okay. Yenya sewa prempe. Ti se yenya sewa prempa ye no be hwe na traffic no red no so na wahu se ubegina. Red no nko aso agina ti sa utwemu a.
Ahanom eye banyard. Na se wo be banyard hanom a on se udu ha na aso wo ye raka so mpata mu ha ni sa. Na wo hwe se de ekwan no aye beja na motofo na mu drivers so na mu adetonfo na mu amenity bias na motofo no emara ne de Woman find age, my son should be a midnight. Now, Shakata, a free machine, ever siapa. Omu free, Ablekuma, any hours here. Say, a person or call a pasta. No person or namono. Say, a person or call or dog was to swap. Obey me, aqua. Now, so I was showing someone kumoto. Now, Shakata, ever say aqua. A your moi. And Marama who quite say, Omusimi Efahanum, Equala, passing to Sawasha, or drew a finding since he said. Now I am now we will call a pass and put them on. As I also mean, send it for I want to say your mom will see our sea bar. Oh no, or that point, you know, I'm with the other evidence in Seno. So they will best me up for the call. So I also motorize, sir. I'm with Sage and I want to say, yeah. I am motorize, sir. I'm with free car store and then put them with airbag. I'm with the one of no, I'm like, no, I saw red. Now, I saw red, no shadow. Oh, say a mom I was about a sample of pass no. I would do quantities now or book. It is such a now open. So what's already now free car for ever now say it. Not the Oyana just or better my car best me up on. Now the see our shot or more traffic, you know. I saw red in check a set on which now. And I was shot on ma. A woman sending fast from free hours number that you have called up on and swap. Or marginal. They see I know. So I was shot as well for now. So now, I'm no other red or more chance. A best green or more alcohol. As this says here, you're good someone after what is said. Rather, for message and campaign or so that they are motorized to this me about mobile. Now, Shadio, so I was shot our see any or more free ablock my ever. I was said motorized, I will do how you say. What's the number for our train say? The light. And that's so green. I'm an upon our shop at the appointment. Maya. Omo free la pass. Any omo free pass. So I bet you la pass. Omo they are not so green. It is a motorist that we say, oh, you're not this or the cockra. Oh, you're fine. It's the Emrano trend to say. Or you hand when you know about Papa must say. Maybe it's so green. Now I'm from a man and a minimum for Macca. Yes, say. Who do traffic lights will not secure red? No idea. How is my answer? It's motorized campaign. You're saying, I understand. So, would you red as fair? Would you traffic light not secure red? No idea. No way to mention the red as no idea to say, message in a red as message in a red as message in a motorized campaign. I am the so would do traffic lights as not secure red. I will motorize again as a soul. Yes, also you have to stop. And no one campaign. I said, "Yeah, but I will bet me about mobile. No one about one mobile." Yes, say so. Do traffic lights are clear. Not say Adom SM, Adom TV. I pass the red as well. Now just a message. Na red as well. Message. Na red as well. Red as well. Message. Na yes. It's said they go so yeah no. Yeah, so we do red message. Not as well. Yeah, it's a huge number for the Omaye. Say yeah, and I share. Say yeah, and motorized. ahye ama mo sɛ deɛ mo ankasa mo kyerɛkyerɛfo adi kaka sɛ motor riders ɛsɛ sɛ mo de ɛnso yɛ nso akɔfa kwan bi so aba abɛsi atwam nanso yɛmpɛ ne sɛ yɛsɛ mo duru traffic light ase a woka ɛkwan so dwodwo mmara no ho hyɛ aberanteɛ a ɔba abɛsi a wɔkɔ yi ɛwɔ mu sɛ baabi a wɔkɔ no ɛkwan da hɔ a wɔbɛtumi akɔ deɛ nanso ne deɛ ɛnso green yɛyɛ hyehyɛ ne sɛ woduru hɔ no ɛkwan wɔ hɔ ɛkwan ni hɔ no mo gyina kɔpem sɛ wo deɛ bɛyɛ dɛ ɛbɛsɔ green na watumi ɛkyɛm nti sɛ afia sɛ wobɛra yɛ ahanom gya wo ho na menyina motor riders yi mu na yɛ dɛ yɛmfampam a ne sa sɛ woduru hanom a ɔmo nyina agyina ɛsiane sɛ red no asɔ ɛna ɔmo agyina eti deɛ yɛka ne sɛ red asɔ masa gyina red asɔ masa gyina eti sɛ ɔba ban yɛ hanom deɛ mmara no ebi di so sɛdeɛ megyina traffic light mu ɛsiane sɛ me nso meyɛ motor rider na me red asɔ nti metry akɔpem sɛ me nso so me green bɛsɔ me manya ho kwan no makɔnti deɛ so red asɔ masa gyina red asɔ ɛsɛ yɛ green asɔ eti ɛwɔ ho kwan sɛ yɛkɔnti sɛ wohyɛ a motor riders ɔmo wɔ hanom nyinaa na ɔmo green asɔ nanso ambulance bi kyɛ mu sɛ ɔmo kyɛnse ambulance ne bɛkɔ ansa na ɔmo akyi hɔ ɛna ɔmo nyinaa asa so a ɔmo kɔ no saa pɛpɛɛpɛ ɛna yɛhyɛ yɛsɛ red asɔ masa gyina eti sɛ ɔmo hanom deɛ ɛsɛ fie hanom ɛyɛ butumutu nti motor riders ne yɛhyɛ sɛ mmara na ɔmo bɛdi so eti wɔkyerɛ ase yɛbɛkɔ so ne yɛsɛ ade foforɔ abrɛ mo ne yɛhyɛ sɛ motor riders ɔmo wɔ Ghana hanom no apɔbɔ ɛne campaign bebrebe a yɛyɛ ɔmo bɛyɛ asesie na ɔmo atumi adi so na afei yɛkɔ so dwoodwoo no ebi aka obi a sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a yɛsɔre a yɛnti owuo yɛnti accident yɛnhyehyɛ eti esi a deɛ ɛsɛ fia sɛ ɔwɔ studio hanom a mehu paa de sɛ ɔhwɛ ɔmo a ɔmo fila paase ba na ɔmo de asɔre de nhyehyɛ ade na yɛka no na ebi mu gu so no hwɛ na ɔmo ba bɔ hɔɔ no hwɛ ɛnsɛ taxi bi akyɛm ɔmo ni o motor riders 1 2 3 4 ɛna ɔmo ahyɛ mu no yɛmpɛ ne saa nti yɛhyɛ sɛ yɛbɛwie campaign mu na obi ase kasa nti wɔ studio hɔ no ma mehu paa meka sɛ red asa na wagye so sɛ red asa
Master gyina yɛda se papa sɛ woaprɛmpɛ adwuma no ano wɔn yɛ nyame nkɔ so ɔmɔ mo ho ban fi sɛ adwuma no a mo yɛ na mo gyina kwan mu ne adeɛ nyɛ bɛtɛ saa nyame bambɔ no nkɔ so anya kɛseɛ wɔde firim ne mo afie ba mu nti red ne so pɛ na wogyina me dɔde ani wo obi amra nyame de ma no wobɛdi ame anza na wafirim nti mpre wo hu wate ase Premotobre Kasee yɛbɔ wura yɛn nsɛm foforɔ mu na pandan mmarahyɛ badwani ayɛ nyame so adeɛ meka sɛ ɔde hyɛn akɔma pandan muslim communities no sɛ wɔn nye na wɔn fa ni wɔn dwuma wɔ nkuro no mu Adom Kasee ɛto so
Emrahye bedwani a wo pandai abato mpɛsia so atɔ ahyɛn akɔma muslimifo a wɔwɔ ne mpɛsia ne so sɛ de bɛyɛ a ebetimi aboa wɔn wɔ adwuma da bia wɔyɛ mu na ebra Adom Kasee ne kasa afa adekode pɔte a ɛma no ɛyɛ saadi ensem bia ɔde tu dwani
yɛnim sɛ krisosum ani Islam so nyinaa no ne nyinaa nyame bako na nyinaa yɛ yɛsom na ɛsɛ kurumi amenso omunti no so Muslim for me violent and say that be obi an answer in Paku a bit my baby and I have to be and the kaya be me pasaka you among fan sum yami among fan sum among sum pandafo na anuba kuna kabuma yepano emra
Owe no de afuto ema muslimifo wo hono nyina se wonhwe pa se obema asomdwe adi omanim abribiara na abato a eye afia pemienu ene aduonu nan mu Ghana ebeto no wonkofa oyeni ene basabasa ye biara ema
ti man ko fon kaso o muslim for ye violent but da bi mo ye violent mo ye de nto mo ya advise mo se ye da bi sumwe ayakronkron sum mama ye nya nsa ye sa mama tum na sai kristo force sa nti empa no ba ko me am gina me member of parliament no sa kind of peace ni wa ana anokro ana sa asundwe ni wa me ntimi mfa development bi ayede emba kwandai nti ehia asundwe ansa na etima develop kwandai
Mamenko Cape Coast ye ogwamemu na mpanifo adwene ho ahwe kwan ye ombefa so ne kuro na tumpon akwamu obibia bi school papa ahodo nyina wo mo obi so entimi mpagya no mu sɛ de wo mo hwehwɛ no hyiamudie bi akɔso ma aba beto dwa sensa se ho manso twe no mri ade enti wo ma wonsɛm obi entimi mfo ondwe tiremba wo beba beduru ano aka kakra bi na nka bibia to so no asase ho nkrata we na adan bo achi bidini aye nsɛm nwunan wo ho a panifo ahunu wo mo ha wonti wo hwa sia no Adom Kasee ko nhwemde ase etwan semiso.
Lucas Lomote and a field operation officer ewo Central Regional Development Commission na nhyiamu bi a wonum eyeyi ewo Gua Traditional Council no ana maami editu dwa se esane se omanfo a wonum eba Cape Coast mansinim honomo senka wode won sika eba be hye nnwuma ahoduo mu no wo ba na wonum asase ho nkratasem ayedene ama wonum ntene sesei enipa dodo na ena ema honomo efa won sika emehye mansini mu.
Investors bebre na wo ba Cape Coast wo pelanda eya na surveyors na wozimunenyim wo survey land mahono ebi wo survey land ni wi abaya 1 year 2 years no ye ne document man enso na bi investor no wa ye oroba no wa ye ready de okitani sika oroba be investment no na so oba na se bi a surveyor ozinenyim na edo ye ne document man na baya 1 year 2 years na se onto me ye no document mana oyeden ina otum ye ne investment ni mo ye.
Regional Manager Emma Guarantee Bank Senator Sieku editor just say esane se ba ko ye eni omanfo a wonum ewo Cape Coast eni Ogua Traditional Council no entemunti no eno so ade how bebri aba mensini nim honom esane se omanfo esuro se wodi won sika ba be hye nnwuma ahodu.
Me hu se there is a separation between the people of Cape Coast and the palace. Enti abribiara na nanom eya ade bi no. What you realize is that oh na nanom na enya no moye. Yenso yenya ye dia ye. So you realize that even enya COVID mu a afashe e bai. Bunzi na nanom yo omode. Na Cape Coast kronin so eye biribi foforo.
Samuel Eduama eye Managing Director ewo Ridge Royal Hotel one also echo senhyiamudie na sibia wode nsem bi etudwa
potential I Cape Coast pa the tourism industry, and the tourism industry is the base that feeds almost all industries in the world. In the tourism industry you have transport, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to see, and that's life. So if you take the tourism industry in Cape Coast as the industry that we have in Cape Coast as a central region, and everybody obia share sa industry na yewo hana obia hushima Cape Coast will change.
Mpenyufo ina de wono manu disem ebe awieye no na wo hene popro wo Ogua Traditional Area osabe ma kwesiata wo tosu Ejitu mu se emebu na wonum ewo ne krom honom no wonum enya adwuma nye ya ne senti no ama mpumtu ene kan kro aka ekire ewo krom honom
yan branch hen ketesia wonye adwuma nye adwuma so hen ye hu mpumtu biara wotima na wotim na adwuma ho de ye be frɛ business communities are all now since on improvement to be amba suggestions of was by my hand to number young there in Zamaruka canon one back and say
Any Ghana Non-Communicable Disease Alliance ano de asamo to abina nim sen kebeya enyarwa hudu bi a yebetimi aso anu ntam kra na mfani pan konse do no ka ban me nani nkọ honom dodo stroke ne diabetes nom ne ade sa ban ye nani kọ honom a yebetimi asi wuo no ano kwan Dr. Beatrice we afia de na de nsemi etudwa
health screening ya Ghana NCD Alliance ema omanfo a wonum ete enkwanta kese ya wonum a wote hododo na ano eye akuafo ewo afigya akwa breed north mensi nim ewo asante mantem mu no eka enhyehyɛ ya hodo a wodi agu akwan mu a wodi di afi Global Week for Action on NCDs in Ghana na dwumadie na se no ana Dr. Beatrice we afia dey editu dwa say omanfo dodo a wonum ewo diabetes, hypertension, stroke any glaucoma no empempi no ya na wotai hwere won kwa esan se wontai enquire sabia wano enkonkohwe won ho mesenti no odi afutu amomanfo nyina se ewo mu a wonom entan kwa yaresabia se ne beya se yare bi hye wonom ho a apomuden adwumayefo ebetimi ehunu ne ntem no asoso ano ede ama wonom.
One civil society organization etimi nye ni nyina ese sa ban de ne ho jim aban na hwe nurse fo aye training wo mu nyina so omu ko communities a ye wo community health nurses ye wo nurses wo mo chip compounds ese ye retraining wo mu ne ye chere wo mo kwan a wo betimi afa so de educate community no mo screening wo mo ma wo mo ntena chip compound hono entwen se nipan be yare aba mo monta hospitals consulting rooms entwen e mancrophone manamom yenhye awareness creation no kena na yentimi hu se ye de yentum bo the the NC civil society organizations especially like Breast Care International, like Ghana NCD Alliance, ye be collaborate with them.
The kasa no echire no na wahene a owo enkwanta kese na boache yam edi abasobode ema Dr. Beatrice Wiafia dey say obo ne homoden say omanfo onum ewo krum ho no obema wonum enya apomodene.
Ye be kan say ye be da na papa say dwumadie yi wodi aba kroma kani bi no so obi nya kokuram yade ya na krofo ke kansem abonsam yade boni bi a die yade obi abetimi ayare bi eti wo hwe edkura no mekuta wo meka abroni se prakas ya ensem no a wokuta wo emu odu.
So na Adom TV Premotobre Kasee do ben fancy ha Midday fia amankwa tamaklomata Crinto Aqua onone editor and afi President director ye Tomene PR ni osofo ene ai munyina ka production ho se wa prempo yi akwan KMA any team no nyame hira mo papa pa nwumre Kasee foforo ebebo mokwam.